one of the things that has been happening a lot in my DMs is I have been getting a lot of messages from women saying, how do you do it? How do you, you're a wife, you're a mother, you are a proprietress of a school, you run your own ministry, you pastor with your husband, you also run Love, Dating and Marriage, you do an itinerant ministry, you travel all over the world, you have 3 young kids, not to mention the many spiritual children that you have. You're releasing children's books, you're writing adult books, you're writing your husband's books, you are doing videos, you are doing mentoring programs for single, you are doing mentoring programs for married. Now we started Soul Podge today, and I've just been getting different messages in my DM. How do you do it? Since I got married, I can't find myself. Since I got married, I don't know who I am anymore. Since I got married, I can't do anything. Since I got married. And I think that there are a few things we need to talk about, okay? And I really want us to talk about these things because one day you will wake up after you've been married, after they have pushed you and told you that our marriage is the next step. If you don't get married, you're not fulfilled. If you don't do this, blah, blah, blah. Then when you get married, they now start pushing you for children. If you don't do children, blah, blah, blah. I think that if you don't sit down and look at your life and structuring your life, especially as a married person, okay? So this will favor you whether you're single or married, but especially married women. If you're a married woman, if you do not sit down and decide, make an intentional decision not to lose yourself, one day you will wake up and realize that you no longer exist. You are there physically, but you're not all there. Okay, so it's important that you make that intentional decision. You have to be very, when I say intentional, you have to make up your mind and then have actionable steps. Okay, that's what we need to talk about today. But I need you to first of all identify when you begin to lose yourself. Okay, so there are a few things. The first thing is when you don't know who you are anymore. Like if there's no Mrs. to your name, if nobody calls you mommy, you just don't feel like you are somebody. In fact, you don't feel like there's anything you can give if you're not a wife or a mother. That's the first sign that you're losing yourself. Second sign is you don't know what you like anymore. You don't know what you like. What my husband likes. What do you like to eat? What my husband likes. We don't hear you anymore. My husband, my children, my husband, my children. All of a sudden, you no longer exist as a person. When was the last time, and I want to ask this question to married women, when was the last time that you chose something because you liked it? Or you did something because you enjoy it, not because it's something that will make your husband happy, not because it's something the children need. When was the last time you did something? Second question I want to ask you, when was the last time that you prayed for yourself? Not your children, not your husband, yourself. When was the last time, if ever? Because I'm saying when was the last time, if ever. Second sign that you're losing yourself. You feel guilty anytime you want time for yourself. You start to think there's something wrong. Why would I want to be away from my husband? Why do I want to be away from my children? You seem to get your identity and your validation from them. Okay? The third sign that you're losing yourself. Every time there's an issue, you silence your own voice, your opinions, so that there will be peace, so that they will not quarrel. So that there will be, I know my husband. I don't want. You are no longer in that marriage. And it's interesting when people say those things and they hide under the shadow of submission. That's not what today is about, but that's not submission. That is you choosing to give up on yourself. because the easier option to you would be to be quiet. Another sign that you're losing yourself would be when your world becomes really small, where everything, your conversations, everything revolve around husband, children, husband, children, husband, children. We don't even know who you are anymore. We don't know, and that's the funny thing. When God created marriage, the idea behind it was, it's not good for this man to be alone, right? So let's bring somebody who would bring another flavor to this man. Someone that would be suitable to him, what his present needs are, but someone that will be adaptable to him. Someone that can grow as he's growing, someone that can evolve as he's evolving. I remember recently I was sharing with some of the ladies in my mentoring program, Wife 101, the first set. And listen, if you have not signed up for Wife 101, I don't know what you are doing. No. I honestly don't know what you're doing. We're going to talk about some things, but to be honest with you, the real thing you need is a long period of time of personal therapy, of looking into your life, of asking yourself certain questions, getting answers, getting support, getting coaching for yourself. Okay? And when I say Wife 101, most people think, oh, they're going to go and teach us how to submit, how to pray for your husband. No. All those things will come. But you see, the thing about it is, if you are not a healthy person, you can't be a healthy wife. So my goal, usually when I mentor married women, my goal is that you don't lose yourself. Okay? One of the major things that will also make you know that you lost yourself is when you no longer feel like a person. You're now a role. You are cook, you are planner, you are mommy, you are driver, designated driver, you are laundry woman, you are sex machine, you are physician, you are lesson teacher, you are everything, but you just don't feel like there's anything more to you than those things. You are there's a problem, go to mommy. You just became mommy. All of a sudden you feel like, and to be honest with you, there's nothing wrong with these things. In fact, it's one of the most beautiful and sacred privileges that God gives us as women, to be able to partner with the men to fulfill destiny, to be able to oversee and partner with God and oversee our children so that they can fulfill their destiny, right? But we were created for much more than performance. Okay? There's so much more to you. I think that a lot of times we think that if we lose ourselves in marriage, that it means that we are more spiritual because we are now more submissive. No. It's not good for the man to be alone, meaning it is good for the man to be with someone else who brings an additional flavor to him. Two are better than one because they have a good reward for their labor. If you disappear, you are now one. You are no longer two. So how are you better? You are one person. So God says these two people, what this person brings and what this person brings, when they bring it together is better, because one shall taste 1,000, two shall taste 10,000. So God's ultimate plan in marriage is that the two people, yes, become one because there's so much synergy, but we don't lose one. We get the benefits of both of you. So that idea of anything, what do you like? Anything my husband like? What do you want to wear? Anything my husband buy? What do you want to do? Anything my husband say? Where do you want to go? Anywhere my husband want to go. What's your best food? My husband best food. What do you eat cockroach? Yes, I love it because my husband is cockroach. We are looking for you. You are missing. And that's not what God had in mind. That is not marriage. Sometimes when I sit down with married women and I talk to them, I realize that a lot of us are so bitter and angry because what we are in is not marriage. The man is living his best life. He's being everything he can be. But you are dimming your light, hiding yourself, being a shadow, suppressing yourself, dimming your light, dulling your shine, silencing your voice, just so that he would be everything, but you will be nothing. And A lot of women also hide behind the fact that we say, oh, it's our husband, our children. We are doing it for our children. Let me tell you the truth. You are damaging your children. You are if your children see what you are, they say they don't want. You know, that's what's happening with this generation now. When we look back and most people are smarter. They say, this thing that my mother went through, that even as make her come marry, I better make everybody stand well. I'm not marrying anything. So if you think that dimming your light, losing yourself makes you more spiritual, makes you more submissive, makes you more virtuous, you are lying to yourself. What it does is it makes you invisible. There's a scripture that I love so much. It talks about, for this reason shall a man leave his father and his mother and shall cleave to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. And it says, and they were naked and they were not ashamed. You know that word? I did a study on it recently, and off the top of my head, maybe because I didn't plan to share it tonight, but off the top of my head, it's not really coming. But one thing that fascinated me with that scripture is, I know that scripture talks about transparency, right? On the shallow level. But if you go deeper and study the Hebrew words and, you know, do a word study, okay, on that particular verse, you'll find that it talks about being unapologetically vulnerable, okay? And what that means is, I am naked and I'm not ashamed. It means that every gift and talent that I have, I am open to showing it to my partner. I don't have to reduce myself or dim my light or suppress myself. I'm not ashamed of all the strengths and everything I bring to the table. So when you say naked and not ashamed, yes, there's transparency, but the root word is that there's no shame, meaning that there's no need for me to dim my light to be with someone. See, if you read the Bible, you'll be fascinated. It's not this one that you are, you know, most of us don't read Bible. Most of us is what we've heard somebody say. In fact, some things that are not even in the Bible, we say it because we've heard it from somebody who've heard quote scriptures many times. Some scriptures are not even quoted the way they are in the scripture, because we're not reading it for ourselves. We have to be like the Berean Christian. Anything you see, you hear, go back and check whether it's really true. Because what people, they didn't really deal like that. They will tell you something is another thing. So the goal, right, is for both of us to bring what we are gifted with and partner together, and let there be such synergy that we glorify God, fulfill destiny, and find joy in each other in our partnership. So I'm not here to say, oh, let's be independent women. Oh, the independence, then raise your head up. That's not, I don't even know how to sing that song. That's not what I came here to do. No. I'm not also here to say, oh, let's do feminism. No. I'm not here to say men are scum, men are scum, men are scum. No. I'm here to say you made a choice to disappear. And it's time for you to appear again.